On today's episode, if you can't make this shit up, it's actually kind of this week's episode. 6 days ago, Everly spiked a small temperature, which resulted in a seizure. Whether the temperature caused the seizure or she was going to seize anyway and she just had a mild temperature, I'm not sure. But her temperature was 37.9 degrees Celsius, which for her is on the higher end and can cause a seizure. Nothing came of that. All day Sunday, no fever. All day Monday until the afternoon, and again, we're in the high 37s. Okay, does she maybe have an infection in her port or her peg? She's showing no signs or symptoms of being unwell, no signs of infection. She's happy, chatty, and amazing. All day Tuesday, no fever, nothing until the evening. And then again, we're in the high 37s. Now, Everly, I believe, does have dysautonomia. I can't pronounce it. I'll put it here. I can't pronounce it. Essentially means she can't regulate her own body temperature, which is part of Dravet as well, but she also has weird heart things sometimes and all these other things. So is it that causing it? Potentially. So on Wednesday, we go to the Royal Children's Hospital, we get her port flushed and it's fine, we get her peg looked at, they don't think it's even close to infected. Okay, Wednesday night rolls around and again, another temperature in a high 37s. What is going on? If she was unwell or fighting an infection, by this point, we're at day 4 and her fever should have been in the 38s. Like she should have been getting worse, not better, or at least presenting signs of something happening. So Thursday rolls around and I book a doctor's appointment to go and get her inflammatory markers, her white blood count tested, just to make sure there isn't an infection brewing. We also do a PCR swab to rule out whether she might have like a little virus or something. But again, Everly is showing no signs at all of being unwell. Now this is where it gets fun. It is freezing cold in Melbourne at the moment, hence my 5 layers of clothing. We get her to the doctors and I opted not to take the wheelchair. I couldn't get her into our normal doctor, so I took her to a different clinic that was close by and I've rugged her up and run her in, but then it's really hot in there, so we've got to take layers off, right? We get in and see the doctor and the room is boiling. I'm very mindful of that. She writes the pass slip, checks Everly over, can't see anything that would cause it. So then we wait there to get the pathology to do bloods, which was the tiniest, hottest little room I've ever seen in my life. It was basically a broom closet. The pathology nurse takes a look at 1 arm, 2 arms. Our support worker's holding the iPad for Everly, keeping her busy, and she tells me that she doesn't think Everly is hydrated enough, so she doesn't want to try. Everly has a peg and is always very hydrated now that she has the peg, especially because she has cystinuria, which is a kidney condition, so she has to drink more fluids than the typical child so she doesn't develop kidney stones. She's always hydrated. She's also a little milk monkey and is constantly having bottles, which we dilute with water. She's hydrated. But if that pathology nurse was uncomfortable doing it, that is so fine. She told me to go up the road and there's another place where they have 2 people that it might be quicker and they might both be able to try. Everly had been awake since 4:30 a.m. By this point, it's midday and I'm thinking, oh, we're pushing it here. We're pushing it. Plus, she had EMLA on and the EMLA would have started to wear off. So we were going to go home and I thought, nope, we'll quickly go to this other place and we'll try. Well, we walk in there and again, it's freezing outside. So I've rugged Everly up and we've gotten in there and there's 4 or 5 other people waiting. And I thought, oh gosh, but there's 2 nurses, so we should be okay. When I tell you this place was like an oven, I'm not joking. So the support worker and I turned off the heater. Gotta do what you gotta do. Gotta do it. I took off Everly's socks, I took off her long sleeve and she was just in a singlet and her leggings. And then I'm flushing fluids through to try and keep her cool. But at this point, the EMLA would be starting to wear. We waited 20 minutes before anyone even came out. And when the nurse came out, she said, I'm the only one here today and it takes about 20 minutes per person to do all of this. So you might be waiting a while. I added it up with all the people in front of us. We would have been there an hour and a half. The EMLA would have been ineffective. It wouldn't have worked. So I carry Everly back out to the car. Mind you, there was no disability car parks available at any of the places that we went to. So we were walking a distance whilst I'm carrying Everly, trying to race her so she didn't seize in the cold. Last night, no fever. That's okay. I'll drop the girls off this morning. I'll come back, I'll get Everly, and I will take her to go and get these bloods done. Everly hasn't been sleeping. Again. Well, yesterday she was up from 4:30 a.m. until 8 p.m. What? She slept majority of last night and then this morning did not want to wake up for her support worker. And waking Everly up, making her angry and then expecting her to sit and get a traditional blood test. I miss the port so much. I wish it aspirated. I wish it gave us blood. But if she's mad, it ain't going to happen and it's just going to be distressing. And I thought, well, hopefully she'll wake soon. She wasn't waking up. She's still asleep. It's 10 a.m. So I was like, okay, all right. Most of the pathology places around us close at 1. So that's cool. Good news, I got the swab testy thing back, and she doesn't have COVID, which I already knew. I assumed would have way more seizures and things like that. But then now, tomorrow, I am going to have to get Everly up and go early and hopefully be able to get these bloods just to make sure. Now, obviously, if Everly goes over 38 degrees Celsius, that's an immediate ED trip. Like, then she's really fighting an infection and I'll take her straight there. But also taking her to ED runs the risk of her picking up God knows what ugly viruses that are just going to make everything worse. So whilst we're teetering in this weird stage of what the hell is going on, I'm not going to expose my child to any more risk than I absolutely have to. If she has a temperature over 38 and we see seizures and things, immediately straight to hospital. But also everyone who works during the week goes on a Saturday to go and get their blood test done. So how long are we going to wait tomorrow? And again, we're on a time limit because we have EMLA. So anyway, it seems every week I have a new story for You Can't Make This Shit Up, and I'm really loving this series, so I thought I'd just share that with you.